If you're an SEO practitioner and you've just been asked to take a look at our Google Ads account, or, hey, can you just set up a quick search campaign for us? I'm here to help. I'm Jill Saskin Gales. I use the pronouns she and her, and I'm a Google Ads coach. I'm also an ex-Googler and the founder of Inside Google Ads, a training program to take beginner and intermediate practitioners to Google Ads expert level. In this video, I'm going to give you a walkthrough of the Google Ads interface so you know what to look for. I'm going to share 3 interesting things you should know about Google Ads as an SEO practitioner. And then we'll talk about how ads and SEO can work together. And finally, I'll point you to some resources you're going to want to look into next, depending on what kind of business you're working with. Let's dive. This is Google Ads, and here we are in my demo account. I'm now on the overview screen. So when you first open a Google Ads account, it'll probably land you on a screen like this. And if not, you can just click Overview. Now, a bit of navigation, most of the things you're going to want to find are going to be in this campaigns section here. That's where you will find your Google Ads campaigns and everything within them, keywords, ads, etc. This goals section is where you're going to go to set up conversion tracking. And then the tools section is where you're going to go to set up different audiences. We'll get to that a bit later. And to find Keyword Planner, a tool you're probably familiar with. Finally, billing, everything you wanted to know and everything you didn't want to know about managing billing for your account and some other settings. So for this video today, we are mostly focusing on campaigns. And we're going to come over and click campaigns and then campaigns again. No, I did not design the UI. I just need to live within it, and you do too. So in Google Ads, you can have different kinds of campaigns. In fact, right now, there are 8 different kinds of Google Ads campaigns you can run: search, display, demand gen, video, shopping, performance max, app, and smart. And then there are also some specialized kinds as well, like vehicle ads or hotel ads, but 8 main ones. This video is going to focus mostly on search, and at the end of the video, I'll point you to resources for some other types. So inside a campaign in Google Ads, we have what are called ad groups. So let's pick one of these search campaigns. And if we just click on it, now you can see we are in the ad groups. I like to think of a campaign as being like a house. And ad groups are different rooms within that house. Just like your kitchen and your bathroom and your bedroom serve 3 very different purposes, but altogether make your house useful and a nice place to live. Similarly, you can have multiple ad groups in a Google Ads campaign. Each ad group should have one objective, and altogether they work to drive your business goals. So here there's just one ad group, but I could have ad groups for Google Ads course, Google Ads coaching, Google Ads training, because those might lead to different landing pages. Now, within an ad group, let's click on it. It's going to take us to our keyword screen. You're an SEO, you love keywords. So here we have all the keywords that are included in this ad group. As a general rule of thumb, I recommend about 5 to 15 keywords in an ad group, and you want them to be closely related. So you can see these keywords here are all about AdWords course, Google AdWords training, but I wouldn't want to put, for example, Facebook ads course here, because if someone was looking for a Facebook ads course, they wouldn't want to land on a page about Google Ads. And I also probably wouldn't want to put keywords about Google Ads coaching, because someone looking for coaching, that's different than someone looking for a course. So within your ad group, you have your keywords, and then you have your ads. We can find those over here by going to ads. So here I have an ad, and any one of those keywords, if it matches to something a user is searching for, can trigger my ad. I'll show you what it looks like to edit an ad. That little pencil icon, when that pops up in Google Ads, that means edit. It's going to load. The final URL is the landing page I want someone to land on when they click my ad. Here you can enter your headlines. You have up to 30 characters per headline, up to 15 headlines you can write. And then descriptions, up to 90 characters per description, and up to 4 descriptions you can write. So up here, we're going to start to see a preview of the different ways my ad could appear in Google search results with these different headlines and descriptions all pieced together. So what are the 3 most important things I want to teach you about Google Ads today? Let's start with keywords. So we want to go back down here and go to keywords. You might notice here that I've put some quotation marks around these keywords, and there's a column called match type. What does that mean? Well, first, Let's back up a step because we have some very important terminology we need to define here. There is a query, a keyword, and a search term, and they mean three different things. So first, a query. What is a query? That is what the user searches for on Google. And you're used to seeing queries in your report in Google Search Console. So query, something you'll be familiar with. Now, what is a keyword? A keyword is what an advertiser puts into their account, right? So users use queries, advertisers use keywords. When there is a match between the user's query and the advertiser's keyword, and you show an ad, it can show up as a search term. Let me show you that. You find those somewhere different. Up here under Insights and Reports, we go to Search Terms. And what this is going to show me is the actual things people typed into Google that triggered my ads. I like to sort this descending by impressions when I'm first looking at it. So Google PPC course, Google PPC training, Google Campaign Manager training. These are real things that real people typed into Google. And you can see here a misspelling, for example, Google AdX course. I think they meant to type Google Ads course. So a query is something a user types into Google. A keyword is what you, the advertiser, put in your Google Ads account. And when there is a match between the user query and your keyword, you're eligible to show an ad, get an impression. And if you do, then it shows up in your account as a search term. All right, now what controls which searches you match to? Well, it's not as simple as just because I have the keyword Google Ads course, I'm only going to advertise when someone searches Google Ads course. That's how Google Ads worked a decade ago when it was called AdWords. It is not how it works now. And I'm going to show you. I'm going to add a column to this report for keywords. So I'm on the search term report, and I want to be able to see which keyword each of these search terms match to. So here, it's pretty straightforward. These are exactly matching. My keyword is Google PPC course, the search term Google PPC course, the keyword Google PPC training, the search term Google PPC training. But let's come down here. See this line? My keyword is Google PPC course. The person searched for Google pay-per-click course. Even though it's not the same, I still was eligible to show an ad because Google Ads considers this a close variant. Google knows that PPC means pay-per-click, and so I want to advertise here. We can see that happened over here for a misspelling as well. And then we can see that happened here. My keyword is Google Campaign Manager Training, and the search term is Google Campaign Manager Course. So Google considers course and training to be synonyms. We might not consider them synonyms, but Google does. So that is a close variant match. When you enter your keywords into Google Ads, let's go back to our keywords here. There are three match types you can choose from. So if I go to add a keyword, I can type it like this, Google Ads course, that's broad match. And what that doesn't mean is I want to advertise when someone searches for Google Ads course. What it does mean is I want to advertise when someone searches for something that has to do with Google Ads course. I know it's hard to twist your mind around. If you put quotations around it like this, that's called phrase match. And that means I want to advertise when the user's search contains the meaning of my keyword. The meaning of my keyword, all right? This is how match types work now. And then if I type it like this in the square brackets, that's called exact match. And that means I want to advertise when the user's search has the same meaning or intent as my keyword. So practically, what does that mean? With the exact match keyword, Google Ads course, I can advertise when someone searches Google Ads course, but I would also be eligible to show an ad if someone searched AdWords course or Google Ads training or learn Google Ads, because from Google's perspective, those all have the same intent or meaning, even though they're not the exact same words. How's phrase match different? Well, the user search has to contain the same meaning, but it could have other things in it as well. So if someone were to search, what's the best Google Ads course or AdWords course reviews, or even inside Google Ads training, the name of my course, that could show because those searches all contain the meaning of my keyword versus match the meaning of my keyword. And then broad match just lets it go beyond that. With this keyword, I can advertise on searches probably for meta ads training or learn digital marketing, anything that's kind of in the zone of meaning here. So that is how your keywords work and the distinction between queries, keywords, and search terms, and the importance of keyword match types. Still with me? All right, next, I want to talk about audiences. As an SEO, you work with keywords day in and day out, but you don't work with audiences. So with keywords, we want to advertise to people when they're doing a specific thing, when they're searching for things on Google, when they're looking for answers to their questions. Audiences let us reach people, not based on what they're doing, but based on who they are, what we know about them, what Google knows about them. So to add audiences to your campaign, you can add them to search campaigns and use them in targeting and other campaign types as well. Let me show you rather than just tell you. So let's edit my audience segments. You can edit them for the whole campaign. Oh, or at the ad group level. Let me do it at the ad group. Okay, so here are the different kinds of audiences you can use in Google Ads. First are audiences based on what Google knows about people. So based on who they are, like their parental status, their education, their employment. This one's great for B2B. So showing ads to people who work in healthcare or who work in manufacturing. Adds detailed demographics. Next is affinity, showing ads to people based on their interests and hobbies. So you can choose to show ads to people who are cooking enthusiasts or who prefer organic food or who are bargain hunters or luxury shoppers, right? There's about 100 of these. Then you can choose to show ads to people based on things they're currently in market for, things they're currently shopping for. And there's hundreds of these to choose from. You can see they might get really specific, like people in market for cosmetology education and training, or people in market for, let's go down here, climate control and air quality, right? There's lots of these. And then there's also life events, which aren't on this screen here, but in other campaign types, you can target people who are going through a life transition, like people who are about to get married or recently got married, people who are about to get a dog or recently got a dog. There's about a dozen of those as well. So that's taking all this information that Google knows about people and letting you target it by just ticking a box. Then with audiences, there's information that you or the business you're working with knows about people, something called remarketing. Google doesn't like the word remarketing. It's called your data segments, just to confuse you. So within your data segments, you can show ads to people who have visited your website. You can show ads to people who've interacted with your YouTube channel. You can show ads to people who've interacted with your app. If you have an app connected to Google Ads, I don't for this demo. And then you can upload a customer list and show ads to people based on the information you have about them. So those are all different kinds of data that you can bring into Google Ads and use it for your audience targeting. And then final piece of audience targeting I'll show you. We're going to hop on over to a section of Google Ads called the Audience Manager. All right. So we're going to go to Tools, Shared Library, Audience Manager. So Audience Manager is where you'll set up all those your data segments we just spoke about. It's also where you can create custom segments and combine segments. And this is what lets you get super specific in your targeting. So let me show you an example of a custom segment. I explain this as the hybrid between Google's targeting and your targeting. You're taking information that Google knows about people, but creating it in a way that's custom to your business. So with a custom segment in Google Ads, you can show ads to people based on things they've searched for on Google. You can show ads to people based on the types of websites they visit. And you can show ads to people based on the types of apps they use. You can use 1, 2, or 3 of these all together in a custom segment. And then last but not least is a combined segment. If you've ever played around with meta ads, then this would probably feel more familiar to you. But this is where you can do your and, your or, your not, audience layering, audience stacking, getting super specific, combined segments. So lots of different ways we can show ads to people using Google Ads beyond just the things they search for on Google. Now, the third thing that you need to know before you run Google Ads or work with Google Ads is about bid strategies, all right? So to look at our bid strategies, we want to go into the campaign settings. You want to make sure that you're in a campaign, not in an ad group. So I know that I'm in a campaign because along the top here, it has a campaign name, but I do not have an ad group selected. I'm also on the campaigns tab over here, and I can either hover and click that gear icon, or I can click settings over here. So let's go to settings to pull up my campaign settings and check out my bid strategy. Now, you're very used to working with Google search engine results page. So you know that the ads can appear above the organic results and that those work on 2 completely independent systems behind the scenes. Now, the way Google Ads work is an auction-based system. So every time a user searches for something on Google, behind the scenes an auction happens. And all of the advertisers who have eligible keywords in the account and can potentially show an ad, they're all bidding, kind of like an eBay auction, for who gets the privilege of actually showing an ad. But the way this is a bit different than an eBay auction is on eBay, it's just whoever's willing to pay the most wins. On Google, the amount you're willing to pay matters, and that's where bid strategies come in, but the quality of your ads also matters. And so the higher the quality of your ads, the more likely you are to show an ad and the less you actually have to pay per click. Quality is something to talk about another day. Now let's focus on that how much you pay part. That is determined by your bid strategy. And there are a lot of bid strategies to choose from in Google Ads. Normally, you are just going to want to focus on conversions or conversion value, but I'm going to go to this so I can show you lots of options here. And this isn't even every option. This is just your search options. So manual CPC is how Google search ads worked for many years. And that's where you pick a bid, a maximum cost per click that you're willing to pay for ads. In most circumstances, that's not really how we bid anymore, because of course what matters to you is not how much the click cost, it's at the end of the day how much the conversion costs or the return on ad spend, the ROAS that you get. So you're probably going to want to use what we call a smart bidding strategy, either maximize conversions or maximize conversion value. When in doubt, I recommend maximize conversions. And what that tells Google is, here's my average daily budget, just spend it in a way that's going to get me as many conversions as possible. Of course, for that to work, you must have conversion tracking set up in the account. If you're working with an e-commerce business and you have products where some might be $10 and some might be $100, you might want to start with maximize conversion value. And what that tells Google is, here's my budget, please get me as much revenue as possible. So rather than just saying, did the conversion happen or not, it's, did the conversion happen and were they more valuable or less valuable conversions? Once you've been running ads for longer, you can get into the more advanced smart bidding strategies called target CPA or target ROAS. But again, for our purposes today, we'll just say, when in doubt, as long as there's conversion tracking, start with maximize conversions. If there is not conversion tracking, set up conversion tracking before you run ads. Now that we've taken you on a quick tour of the Google Ads interface and told you what you need to know to get started with keywords, audiences, and bid strategies, I want to talk a little bit more about how ads and SEO work together. Because of course, at the end of the day, the user sees them both in the same place, even though they work completely differently behind the scenes. And I do want to dispel a myth. Paying for ads is not going to impact your SEO rankings, just like your SEO rankings will not impact your ad rank. However, the common denominator with ads and with SEO is your landing page, right? A well-optimized landing page that's set up in a way that Google can understand will help your ads just like it helps your SEO. If you're not sure what keywords to use, a great place to start is somewhere you're really comfortable. Google Search Console. You can either look at those keywords that maybe you've started ranking for, but you're in a really low position. And so you can run ads on those to kind of get yourself to the top with paid until your organic catches up. Or you can say, what are my best keywords from an SEO perspective? Let me test what happens if I run ads on those as well and see if the overall impact of that is incrementally good for my business or if it's not worth it for me to spend that money. Of course, you can also use ads for things that may not work as well from an SEO perspective, like what we call competitor conquesting, showing ads when people are searching for a competitor, or creating a custom segment so that when people have searched for a competitor, you can then show them ads on YouTube or on display. Lots of creative things you can do here to take the data you have in Search Console and have it inform your keyword or audience strategy. I'll also say, if you've never used Keyword Planner in Google Ads before, it is an excellent tool. You do not need to be spending money on Google Ads to use it. And here's a way that it can be especially helpful for SEOs. Remember, to find Keyword Planner, we go Tools, Planning, Keyword Planner. And with Keyword Planner, you can discover new keywords. You can start with keywords or start with a website. Start with a website, okay? So I'm going to start with, I don't know, my website. Sure, why not? We can use the entire site or just a single page. This is set to Canada. You can choose somewhere else, and then we get results. And what's going to happen now is Google Ads is looking at that website and determining what keywords it thinks are related to that website. And so this is such a helpful tool for SEOs if you just want to get a quick understanding of what keywords Google associates with your website or your landing page, and see if it's what you want it to be or not. So when I look here, I'm like, yeah, this sounds right. These are the kind of things I want to be associated with my website. But what can often happen is you go here, you see these keywords, and you're like, ooh, some of these are related, but some of these are not so related. So the advice that I give to my coaching clients and members of my courses is if you do this and you see that the keywords here are not really related to your business, go work on your SEO first. And so now that I'm talking to you, an SEO, I'm going to say this is a really helpful tool for you to look at. If things here don't look like you think they should, it can give you an idea of what you might want to work on from an SEO perspective, which will then, of course, help your landing page perform better from an ads perspective. Now, where should you go next to learn more about Google Ads? If you work with an e-commerce business, you're going to want to get to know a tool called Google Merchant Center. That is something that sits outside of Google Ads, but it's going to allow your products or your clients' products to show up on Google organically and with paid ads. So go learn all you can about Google Merchant Center. If you work with a lead generation business, you're going to want to learn about offline conversion tracking, enhanced conversions, and how to connect your CRM or your client CRM to Google Ads. You're also going to want to probably get into more advanced audience strategies beyond just keywords. If you're looking for more step-by-step tutorials like this on things like Performance Max or troubleshooting or auditing techniques, you should check out my course, Inside Google Ads. I'll get you the training you need so that you'll be able to open up a Google Ads account, see exactly what's going on, run optimizations, and manage campaigns from start to finish. I'm proud to be a partner of Women in Tech SEO. You can go to learn.jill.ca/WTS to get your exclusive discount. Thanks for joining me today for this SEO guide to Google Ads. And if you have any questions at all, please feel free to drop a comment.